Hello, my name's Andy and welcome to the garage. I've got two Corgi toys, Aston Martin DB4s on the turntable, both badly play worn. The bonnet on the one that's up, or the hood if for my American viewers, that is well out of shape. So I might be making 2 into 1 here and doing something a bit different. I've bought some new tyres. I'm hoping the glass is okay and everything else. So thank you for watching again, and we'll soon be getting stuck into these. Right, it's time to take a look at the Astons now they're off the turntable. This one is the secondary one. It's got a very dinted bonnet. I don't know if you can see the curve at the back there and at the front. Whereas this one, body wise, looks a perfect fit. Now the glass on this one, there's a crack on the windscreen, crack on the side. This one has a crack on the windscreen, but it's not too bad. Nothing on the side. So this one's got the best screen. It's got no tyres, 3 rivets to take out. So I think this will be the donor vehicle for the screen. I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything with this one afterwards. Can't get the bonnet open there. This one's got an engine in there. Obviously somebody's had a go with a bit of paint before at them. No headlights on this. There's no headlights on this one. There's one on this one. Not sure if it's worth trying to recover. I don't think it is. So it could go straight into the caustic like that. So we're off to get one good one out of here somewhere. You never know. Eyes look worn. Might be able to rejuvenate those. See if we can get them off. Yeah, they're coming off easy enough. I've bought some new tyres. If not, don't want to know. Might have to take the base off first. Looks like it. No, that one's free. That one's free as well. Give it a tug. Put those in some silicone lubricant. Whiz them around, see how they do. And we'll get straight on to the drilling. These are fairly big rivets in here. I need a bigger drill there, not sure. Got the front one to do. That's a lot smaller rivet there. Yeah, I think I'll get a bigger drill on those back ones. That's one free. No, that's still tough. I need an even bigger drill. Right, I've now got the biggest drill my chuck will take. You can see how much has come out of this. Still not quite free. Oh, there we go. Free. So we have quite a good chassis. Play one, obviously. Got some glass and a very plasticky, like vac formed cockpit interior there. A clip there holding the bonnet in. Yeah, if I just pull that clip up, I can wiggle the bonnet through. On the hood for our American viewers. seems to be on. Yeah, there we are, I can see it now. Look, it was in 2 grooves there and the clip was holding it in, but it's now free. One Aston Martin DB4 bonnet. Now I'll do the second Aston off camera. You can see now, if I can get that bonnet out easy, I may be able to do something with this bonnet, or potentially just buy a new one. So I'll just move those parts to one side and I'll catch you when I've done the second Aston. Right, the second Aston's apart. Not sure if it's got a slightly bent base there, compare it to the other one. Yeah, it has. It's bent at the back here where my thumb is. You can see this one's perfectly horizontal, this one's bent backwards. Again, glass and a vac formed interior, exactly the same colour, etc. You can see the bonnet again. Let's try and get the bonnet out. To be honest, I'd like to save it. There we go, clips out. I don't know if you can now see the, I can certainly feel the groove there, but there isn't on the other one. You can see there's a definite more curve there, so it might be just a case of trying to straighten it up with a pair of pliers. Anyway, we'll see what we can do and we'll see if we can source another one. Okay, just going to take the wheels off the Astons. There's always one side that's not as overpeened as the other side, and this is the side on this particular chassis. You can see there how many filings were off getting the 2 chassis off. Right, the wheels and the axles are quite corroded. This is an Aston with the bent axle. Oh, gee. Snapped back and stabbed myself there. It's not too bad, I suppose. There we go. Just 3 more axles to do. Okay, I'm just comparing the good Aston bonnet to the bad. You can see the distinct curve. So I'm just going to try and move it with a pair of pliers, basically. Well, 2 pairs of pliers. One on this back lip, firm grip. Just gently, I should have perhaps put a bit of tape over the pliers on the bonnet. I think it will bend back. I'll keep trying that. Just keep bending and twisting and fitting it to the chassis till I get it in a position I'm quite happy with. Just drilling the holes for the rivets into the Aston. Proving quite tough. Well, you've seen enough of that. You don't want to see me drill all 6 holes, do you? Okay, we're outside. As you can see, the Astons are in the caustic bowl. Then in with the caustic. Bit more. Whee! Should think that'll do it. It's cleaning time for the Astons. Right, that's enough of that. As you can see, they're quite nice castings, coming together nicely. Roof may be worse on this one, hard to tell at the moment. Okay, both Astons are polished now, and I might be changing my mind on the chassis, on the bodies rather. The original idea, not so good Aston, has still got the Aston badge on the front. The headlights not too bad. The one I thought was the better Aston, I think it's been restored before. There's a very faint outline, I don't know if you can see that, of a badge there. It's not as good as this one. It's more prominent, you can see that now. So I think this, what I thought was a rubbishy Aston body, might actually be the better one, because I've had a close look at the light, and I think I can fill in the missing bit there. It's just a bit of super glue. The actual whole body front, the line of the bonnet, is better than this, what I thought was the better Aston. So I'll put them into primer. Still a decision to make, and see how they come out. I'm just about to start doing the Aston with this British Racing Green. Okay, we're still working on the bonnet of the Aston. I've got the old one as reference, but as you can see, it's still not perfect fit. It's high here, it's low at the corners, but it is getting better. I'm just bending it with a pair of pliers, that's all I'm doing. Well, I'm no bodywork specialist, but I've been bending the Aston bonnet back. I don't think it was a great fit anyway. As you can see, it's a bit of a gap more one side than the other. I can't compare it to the other one just yet, because the other one's in paint. In the end, I decided to save this one and go with whatever the glass looks like. But I'm quite pleased with that from where it's come from, because I think what had happened was it just been like that, and somebody just bent it back, little kid, bent it all out of position. There's been a lot of faffing around there, and I think that's as good as it's going to get. It was never a perfect fit. I'm not an Aston Martin panel beater from the 1950s, but there's clearly not enough metal in there anyway to fill the entire gap neatly. Be interesting when I get the other one out of paint, see how it compares. But looking forward, looks okay. I did try and buy a spare bonnet, but I'd have had to have spent on eBay. I could only buy the complete car, and who knows what the other bonnets were like. So I elected to maybe spend 30 minutes just taking the bonnet on and off, bending it on the model with just a pair of pliers. And I'm quite pleased with the way that's gone. We've rescued this Aston, and I've chosen the colour for it. I'm going to go with titanium silver. I think it'll look really nice in that. Okay, I'm not entirely happy with the Aston Martin. The paint's okay, but you can see from certain angles there's a dent there, there's a raised bit there. So although I've got some shape and it fits reasonably well, I'm going to have to bash through here with a piece of wood, and similarly I'm going to have to bash down there with a piece of wood. Okay, I've got a cut off pencil here, that should do the job. Well, that feels a whole lot better now. I have been bending the Aston bonnet quite a bit on the second car, and I've painted it and rubbed it down. Some undulations still that can be filled in with some super glue, but overall I'm quite happy with the fit now. Now I've been able to test it, so I'm going to put it back into paint and rub it down and put some super glue on it, etc. These came out the ultrasonic cleaner, still a bit scruffy, so I'm going to use some 2000 wet and dry to try and clean them up a bit. Just a bit of paint at the edges really. Okay, I've tried polishing the glass with a bit of auto sol, and I've got these new polishing pads on the end of my multi-tool. I'm just going to give it a spin with those and see how it goes. Okay, we're just going to dip the Aston screens into the floor polish. Gonna look fine, I hope. Started on the detailing now. Just done a bit of the engine in the silver Aston. I'm now gonna start the green one. For once I have taped off, masked off some of the bits I want to do, and it's just a matter of just touching between them, I hope. So these are the vents on the side and the door handle. This has its advantages and disadvantages. You can't see what you're painting because you've masked it off so well. Then again, you can go over the line. Now you may wonder why I'm not using a pen, because I want to use this particular colour. I'm not using Molotow pen. I want to get a bit older look, so I'm using a metallic umbral colour. That's one side done. One thing I did notice, the castings are different on each side for the front vents there. This vent's more in the middle, that other one's more at the top. It's a slow job. You need a lot of patience, I found. You don't want to rush it. And it's harder if you're trying to film it. I'm not going to film it all because I have to put my head over the camera and it's a bit off-putting. You can rest assured there's no way of cheating on this job. Of course, it could all go wrong and you're back to paint, which I've been before on models, and believe me, there's nothing more soul destroying. I'm just going to use my hand there to try and rest. There's nothing more soul destroying than going back to paint. Right, I think you can get the gist of that. Just do a bit more for you, then I'm off to switch the camera off. I think I've just hit the camera with the brush. Help if there's some sort of casting mark you can use. And there is one here on the Aston that I've now spotted. Oops, sorry, not camera again. This is where it gets difficult. You almost daren't touch it with the brush. It's as if your hand knows when you come into a crucial bit and it's not having it. Now I'm going to go for the backlight. We are at assembly now, and the first thing I'm off to do in that is the decals. Right, here we go with the first decal. And there she is, she's on. Just try and push her up a bit. Pleased with that. Nicely done with 143. You may notice I've done the rear lights. Next on we have the bonnet, and just a chance to see a bit of detail in there, which you probably won't see on the turntable later. So the bonnet is upside down, goes in the gap. It's got to be, it has to be this, still got decal on it. It's got to be this side of these two posts, and then it's just a matter of getting something to lift that clip up, and there she goes, and pull it through. Now I can see it's seated now. 1 DB4 bonnet, and that's the original bonnet. You can see how that fits. Bonnet's on. Okay, I've got some glue on this stick, and I'm just gonna gently put it round that post. So we'll have a bit more glue. Should be enough. Glue is in, the glass doesn't look too bad. Right, to leave that set for a minute or two. Okay, the next thing is the wheels. Here are the new ones. They just need a bit of trimming, and then we can get them on the hubs. The wheels just need a gentle sandpaper all around because they've got like a mould mark on them. Okay, so just gonna pop the tyres on the hubs. These are rubber tyres. I do like the effect better than plastic. I previously chromed the hubs. Didn't show you that, didn't video that. Okay, we're ready to just peen the wheels. I do try not to just hit it straight down, but to get a bit of an angle on it. Sad to show that on the video. Right, I've got quite a few of those to do, so I won't film all of that, but I think you get the idea. Just the rear rivets to do now. Just check these rivets beforehand and they do fit well. Right, just need to give those rivets a few minutes. It's just a matter of dropping the headlight in the right way round. And there we have two jewelled headlights in the silver Aston Martin. Just the final headlight to put in the green Aston now. Just drop a super glue in the middle there. Carefully does it. Make sure I've got it the right way round. Can't see this, it's just off camera at the moment. Right, there she goes. There's the second Aston with its headlights. The next time you see these two, they'll be on the turntable. Well, here we have our two Aston Martins DB4s. Corgi number 218, though I think these are 309s because they do have the dual headlights, and apparently the 309 number only had the dual headlights. The silver one did have a competition flags on its bonnet still. I think they've previously been restored a long time ago. This model was introduced in 1960 by Corgi, and the main difference between this and the later DB5, the Bond car, were the headlights. The DB5 has more smooth sloping back headlights. This is the first model with an opening bonnet and a detailed engine. Nearly 1 million were sold. In 1962 they brought out the Corgi number 309, the competition model, which has the dual headlights. And this is the model I've done today without the correct details and colour. Here we have our two Aston Martins with the bonnet up. Aston Martin produced these between 1958 and 1963. There were over 1,200 made, 1,204 in various models. With the British gear ratio and the straight six engine, the 3.67 litre, developing 240 brake horsepower, it had a top speed of 139 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 time of 9.3 seconds and did 18 miles to the gallon. The American version had a high gear ratio and was a bit faster. I hope you've enjoyed watching these Astons being done. They haven't been as easy as I thought. The bonnet on the silver one really took a lot of time to get right, and there were other problems as too. Drilling the holes for the rivets was difficult. I found this metal was quite hard in the Astons, and they did develop a few surprises. Please like and subscribe. It's a pleasure to have you along with me to watch these videos being made. I look forward to seeing you next time. So goodbye for now. Have a good weekend.